What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Logical Dude. Favorite van life, living, crypto investing, digital nomad. I'm coming back to you on a Friday, August 27th of 2021. It's CoinLogic TV. We're getting into these markets a little bit. So this is the end of the week. So if you remember from Monday, Bitcoin hit around $50,000. Binance coin was up around 500 and all that. Well, yeah. You've been following the week at all. We did have a bit of a retracement. Bitcoin went down to around 46 and some change and then bounced back up off the 200-day moving average. We're going to take a look at that in the charts. But first, we're going to get into the CoinLogic index. Going to talk about the trending page, coinlogic.com. And check out the top 10 gainers and losers, all that kind of good stuff, like we do on these market updates. And then take a look at some charts. And then I'm going to talk about how crypto plus the van life or nomadic life really equals just true freedom. So we're going to get into that today. Let's jump right on into this market here. So this is the CoinLogic index. If you want to see the full live crypto market, you can come and click on the live crypto market. That'll show you the top 100. But this is the group of coins that myself and my company are invested in, that kind of thing. This is the focus. But we've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Solana, Polygon, Stellar, Cosmos, Basic Attention Token, Nexo, Hive, and Hive-backed dollars. Those are our focus. Really consolidated our holdings a lot to platforms that we're using. So, things that are making us money at this point. Some staking platforms, DeFi platforms, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Hive is definitely the number one holding. I really wish that I could move this in order of my portfolio, but it won't let me. So Hive is down here because it is the lowest one in the market cap rankings. But it's got one of the biggest gains in the portfolio for the day at 13.29%. You can see it rocking at 56, almost 57 cents. So it's been a good day in the markets. You can come down here and you can see some really awesome posts that have been curated from the Hive blockchain. So these have been, I go through the Leo Finance community and the Hive Hustlers community. Look for really awesome, analysis posts. Look for educational posts on, crypto markets, stuff that would be good for crypto newbies, things like that. DeFi walkthroughs. Those are the kind of things that we're really kind of looking for. Market news and information. Love that kind of stuff from the Hive blockchain because I would rather focus on real people reporting about the markets versus just going through the same old news articles and the news feeds that we have up in the news center. So you can also go check out the news center, which has some of the top crypto news sources, and take a look at all the news that's out there. They're all pretty much echo chambers of each other, though. The one that's really the kind of the different one is AMB Crypto. They do more analysis than crypto news. But let's jump right over here to the CoinLogic trending page, and you can see the top 10 gainers of the top 100 are Airweave, Tezos, Terra, SafeMoon, Cardano, Solana, Helium, Avalanche, XDC Network, and Telcoin. Airweave's having a killer day. 45.92% over the last 24 hours. Tezos is up 23%. So we're having a really good day in the markets. And when you look over the top 10 losers of the top 100, you can tell it's a good day when the top loser is AMP at 1.58% loss over the last 24 hours. A Sia coin is only down 0.42%, and then it's just a bunch of stable coins. So we're having a good day in the markets, guys. So we're all making money. Let's keep making money. Don't get wrecked out there, guys. Be smart with your investments. So the top 10 by market cap: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, Tether, XRP, Dogecoin, USDC, Polkadot, and Solana. Has not changed at all this week. The top 10 by volume is still Tether, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Binance Dollar, XRP, Ethereum Classic, Solana, and Litecoin. Those are the top 10 by volume. And then our Fear and Greed Index from alternative.me is showing a 71. We are in the greed area. Not extreme greed yet. We're just getting greedy. We're getting up into that green area. So, people starting to feel a little bit better about stuff. People starting to feel a little bit better about the markets. So, I'm looking at, positions at certain points to start taking profits, off of particular investments. Actually, I went ahead and flipped my BNB into a different liquidity pool, into a BUSD liquidity pool. I'll talk about that when we get to the charts. But let's take a look right here. We got the Bitcoin dominance at 44.14%. So that means that Bitcoin is only taking up about 44% of the crypto markets at this point. Ethereum, I think, is pushing around the additional 20%, and then you got the smaller caps from there that take up, which is like what, an additional like 4,000 or 5,000 coins or whatever, take up the rest of the markets. So not a bad play to be in Bitcoin, not a bad play to be in Ethereum. So take a look at that. We can come and take a look down here. We are in a neutral zone. It's still considered a buy. But yeah, we are floating kind of in a neutral zone. And we'll take a look at the charts and see kind of why you may want to hold up on doing some trades, or you can at least be a little cautious. You can come over here and you can do some trading. No KYC needed over here on Simple Swap. This is an aggregate exchange that swaps through different exchanges. Has a whole plethora of different coins that you can exchange here. All right. So let's go and let's take a look at these charts. So let's actually come up here and we'll look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently chilling around 48,245 at the time of this recording. We have found some support at this 200-day moving average, which is this red line here. This yellow line is the 20-day moving average, so it's trying to really sit and bounce off of that. So we got a good fat green candle going on today. My problem is there's just not enough volume going on. You can see my problem with these markets right now and why I'm just being a little cautious is the declining volume versus the rising price action. Okay? And you look down here on this market cipher indicator, and it shows the same type of thing. You can definitely see here this RSI, which is this top red line here, and then this connecting straight line. This is showing some bearish divergence. Okay, so when your momentum indicators are in a downtrend, your volume's in a downtrend, but your price is in an uptrend, that's called divergence. If it's the opposite way, then it's bullish divergence, and you can look for a correction to the upside. But right now, I'm looking for a possible correction or maybe just even some consolidation around this level for a little while. I don't like these red dots. These red dots in the past kind of indicate, some good drops, or time that it's going to drop down. But being that our money flow is down here, it's pretty thick. So there's some good money coming into Bitcoin. So we are in the positive territory as far as the money flow is concerned. Our VWAP indicator here is on an uptick. We also have the RSI up here that is back into the neutral zone. So it did cool off out of the, kind of oversold territory. So we are back into a neutral zone here on the RSI. Kind of zoom in and see what we got going on here. It has ticked up though. So we may be finding some support here on this 200-day moving average for another move up. But how much momentum do we have going in that? That's my question. So I don't know, but that's why we just gather data and we just keep kind of, we keep analyzing the data as we get more of it. So every day, see what the price action's doing. You see what the momentum indicators are doing. See what the money flow is doing. And we just kind of take our judgments and we kind of move from there. So that's with any asset, really. So the trade that I'm in right now is this Ethereum to BTC trade. You can see here, I got my fancy little double bottom going on here. We did find this 50-day, which is like the teal colored, this 50-day moving average as support here. And the 100-day, it's really just kind of following that beautifully. And it's starting to crook up. But you can see down here on the momentum indicator, down here on Market Cipher, this is the free version of Market Cipher, by the way. So if you want to way overpay for the same thing, you can go and support CryptoFace's stuff. That's cool. He's already a freaking millionaire. So I would say use the free version that's by Vu Manchu on TradingView. It works just as well. It's the same thing. I know because I purchased and used it the regular one for 5 months, and it's the exact same thing. So yeah, you're just not getting some of the newer updates that he may come out with or whatever. But really, do you need all that? Because this actually does a really good job in telling you kind of which direction the markets and everything are going. But right now, you can see that the Ethereum to Bitcoin, this red, it has been really thick in the money flow indicator. It's been negative money flow. Money flow has been coming out of Ethereum and more into Bitcoin. Well, you can see that this is definitely starting to change. You can tell that by the Bitcoin dominance. But you got the momentum, which has got a green buy signal. So that means that we have got some momentum that's flowing up in the markets. And you can see right here, we've even got a nice little candle that's pumping. VWAP is turned up. RSI is double bottom basically and is pushing up to the upside. So I'm feeling really good about jumping back into this trade here. I'm actually already up 100,000 Satoshis. So I say let's keep going with it. Plus, I'm earning interest because I did this trade in Nexo. So I flip back and forth. I use Nexo as basically like a revolving credit line. And I use Bitcoin and Ethereum as my collateral. So I loan against it as USDC, send that over to Coinbase and use that on my Coinbase card. Or, pay bills, do whatever I need to do with it. And then I can pay back the loan either through like Binance Coin from my DeFi stuff, or I can send some, I can exchange like Hive for, ETH or Bitcoin or whatever and pay it off from that. However I work that. But I trade back and forth to just try to keep getting more Bitcoin as collateral. And I use, and it's just a simple trade to watch, because you're just basically trading Bitcoin versus Ethereum basically encompasses the entire altcoin market in the way that it moves. You may have some rogue guys that do crazy pump and dumps and that kind of thing. But overall, watching Ethereum versus Bitcoin is kind of a great way to gauge, your altcoin markets and that kind of thing. So currently, right now, Ethereum is up 2% over Bitcoin. I'm happy with this trade so far. I'm going to ride this for a while because the last time I wrote it up, I made over 1 million Satoshis and I was very happy about that. So hopefully we can do that trade again. So let's go and take a look at Hive real quick, man, because Hive is having an awesome day today. Running over 56 cents right now. We did pump up to a little over 60 cents and come back down, but Hive's been having a stellar run up. It's been an amazing run. Our money flow has kind of cut down a little bit. Our VWAP and our RSI is starting to cool off, so we may have a little cool off and maybe some consolidation, but it's still looking extremely bullish. I mean, there is nothing wrong with this chart right here. So I am seeing nothing but some extremely bullish action. I'm really hoping that in this run we can hit up around $1 Hive. That would be really cool. Resource credits would start getting a little expensive at that point, but hey, it's worth it because Hive is honestly, in my opinion, the most undervalued and overlooked blockchain in the entire space. So we have more going on Hive than what most people realize we have building and going on. If you want decentralized social media, if you want decentralized video platform, decentralized podcasting, decentralized NFT, we got a whole NFT market, but we have, if you want all that and you want to own your data with a simple like username as your wallet name without having this whole convoluted, crazy, 30 alphanumeric character wallet address, it's just as simple as a username. Fast, free transactions. And it's built on community. And you do everything that you do on a daily basis anyway. Everything that you do on social media, you can do on Hive. Come like, comment, subscribe, and you actually get rewarded for it. And you own your data on that. There's no tech oligarchy that owns your data and is selling it out for advertising. That doesn't happen on the blockchain. You own your data. So, anyway, off that, that's my love affair with Hive. It is definitely my top holding by far. And probably will continue to be because it's my home on the blockchain. Everything else is really just collateral and used to make me more Bitcoin, more Ethereum, and more Hive. Those are really my three top ones that I buy into. The Hive is definitely a bit heated. It is definitely a bit heated. We did have a buy signal up. It's running up, but I'm afraid we're finding some resistance around the 60 cent level, especially with the RSI and everything starting to cool off. maybe we just need to cool down, maybe come down, retest the 20 again, find it as some good solid support before the next run up. But, you know, again, we're just gathering data on a daily basis. None of us are fortune tellers. Technical analysis is not really meant to be a, you know, an exact future prediction. You can use probabilities based on patterns and based on history to see what happened in history based on how the market's set up and that kind of thing. You can use that as a tool to help predict and see what your price action is going to do, and then, you know, trade accordingly. But again, it's just one piece of everything. You need to look at all the fundamentals around the investment and that kind of thing. So Hive has got some of the best fundamentals going on of any crypto project out there in the space, period. So yeah, come check it out. You need some information? Hive.io is a great place to start. So yeah, or just come and get involved with some of the communities. Leo Finance, if you like talking about charts and investing and that kind of thing, leofinance.io is a great place for that. Plus, they are the easiest ones to get signed into the blockchain. You can just get logged in directly with a Twitter account and just get started and blog your heart's content there on Leo Finance. So, or you can get involved in some of the other communities like Hive Hustlers, or, you know, you can come and do some e-commerce on Hive List, or you can come and post some videos on 3speak.tv. Or you can come and play some blockchain games like Splinterlands, which is one of the top blockchain games in the world. We've got D-City, which is a whole DeFi NFT game that actually brings me some nice returns. And there's all kind of stuff going on. So come check out Hive. So yeah, what all this means, put together with my rockstar van life kind of situation, or just being a nomad. Like I said, you don't have to live in a van. You can have a nice ass RV. You know, you can have one of the big boys. But I find you are definitely more restricted with the bigger vehicles. This is still technically a passenger van. I was very lucky. The universe absolutely led me to this vehicle. There's a whole other story behind it. I may get into that in a podcast session. So come check out the Pure Logic podcast. Again, it's also on 3speak.tv. I post it to YouTube. That's generally just an audio only situation. I may just start doing a whole face-to-face talking head on 3speak and post the audio only on. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Radio Public, Google Podcast. Still waiting on Apple Podcasts. But yeah, definitely out there on Spotify, Anchor.fm, that kind of thing. But throwing it out here, mainly on the Hive blockchain through 3speak.tv, which also puts me out on the Podcasting 2.0 indexes, which is really cool. So if you're listening to me on one of the Podcasting 2.0 index channels, love you guys. So I'm just going to get face-to-face with you real quick, and we're going to talk a little bit about kind of how crypto plus van life equals freedom for me. This is just my personal opinion, my philosophy behind it. So when I was really looking at rebuilding my life and everything after losing everything to Hurricane Irma in 2017, I started looking at priorities. You know, really started looking at the whole nomad life and that kind of thing. It's like, why do I want to be tied down? You know, because when especially, God, and I really got it when I was working for Apple from kind of thing. Because when I was doing that, I was just in a room 8 hours a day staring at a computer. And then when I got out, it was like I'd go outside and walk around. Then I'd come in and just watch TV or whatever. So, when you live in an apartment or you live in a house, you have this big thing called mortgage or rent. So these are big payments, and you have to come up with these payments every month or you lose your place to live. So that, I started thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, I started really getting into the whole investing thing. Once I learned that the government really sucks and is not on your side, FEMA did nothing for me after the hurricane. And it was just a complete nightmare. I had to go out and get all private loans and all that kind of good stuff to do it all on my own, which I feel like is actually more satisfying and gratifying, the fact that I'm doing it. I mean, yeah, I'm still paying off debt. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Plus, I got child support and all that kind of stuff. So Plus, van life has its own set of expenses. Like right now, gas is like $3.70 a gallon. It's really expensive, which has been seriously cutting into my profits on the delivery service. So I'm really looking for some avenues to really just keep going into blockchain where I don't have to spend as much gas money and riding around and delivery, doing the delivery thing, because the money hasn't been quite as good there, at least in my market. But I live in a college town. School's about to come back in session. So hopefully that will be a nice little increase. But yeah, the thing about it is like I got tired of being tied down. And I have this big awesome van. I want to travel and see things. So why not get out and travel and see things? You have to learn how to get out of your comfort zone, but create a new one. So I found a whole new comfort zone in my van. I mean, this is my house, yo. I'm chilling. This is my couch. It used to be my bed. I've kind of done some rearranging. What triggered that was my dog, bless his heart. He's almost 13, and he did something to his front left leg, and I don't know if it was either in his joint. It's in one of his joints, either his shoulder or like in his ankle. But for a couple of days, he couldn't put any weight on it, and which was causing a lot of issues. And then just the fact that he's old. And he's my ride or die, yo. I wasn't doing good for a couple of days. But he's doing better. He's still limping though, but he's old, bless his heart. So I had to start making some more accommodations so to keep him from jumping up on the bed and stuff all the time, which was starting to get to be a high and hard jump for him. Basically he's on the floor pretty much full time. He sleeps on the couch at night, but it's not as high of a jump now that my mattress isn't on there. So we've got him set up on the couch at night, and then I'm on the floor at night because I can actually stretch out. I was stretched from here to here, but I'm like 5'10", almost 5'11", and that's not. So for the last couple of years, I've been sleeping in weird positions, diagonal and everything. My back and my shoulders have been killing me. So you've got to learn how to adjust, and you've got to learn how to be flexible, and this life teaches you that, which if you get set in your comfort zone, you become this whole like comfort creature and that kind of thing, and when real world slaps you with crap, you don't know how to handle it. So this life has taught me how to be a very flexible, very adaptable human being. And when you are adaptable and you can pretty much flex to anything, you're a free man. You are free to do whatever you want to do. Me, I can sleep on the side of the road anywhere, feel comfortable. I mean, yeah, I've got parts of town that I won't hang out in. Absolutely. I'm armed. But, yeah. Right next to my head. Good old 380 locked, loaded, one in the chamber. I'm waiting on my new sidearm, waiting on my 22. I've talked about that in other videos. But anyway, I'm a 2A loving guy. If you listen to the Pure Logic podcast, I talk about, my minimalism, and then I also talk about protecting yourself. And, I'm just talking about all kind of different stuff on that. So come check out the Pure Logic podcast. So, but what crypto gives me is freedom from the financial system, from the government. It gives you freedom from the Federal Reserve. Although they're trying to attack it, if you know what you're doing, if you're smart, and I've been learning and studying crypto for the last 3 years, it's taught me the financial markets. I've learned a whole new outlook on my money, and I actually have some now. So I've grown from absolutely nothing, excuse me, being in debt 5 figures to now being positive net worth, even with my debt still in 5 figures. So crypto has saved my life in many ways, and it's taught me the freedom to be able to get out and make that money. But I still am not making like a solid daily income to cover child support, debt, and just my daily bills and stuff. So I'm really starting to look at things that are costing me the most money. Right now, my delivery business is not doing great because of the cost of gas and then the fact that it's just slow. So I've been trying to put out more content. Content's been helping, I'm trying to offset some of my stuff, but you have the freedom to do that. I can go anywhere. So if I had to, I can go up to Portland and go make money if I want to, but I just don't want to go and drive to Portland. I hate that shit. So if I want to go and stay at the coast, and go and try to make some money at the coast because I can go and do a DoorDash over in Florence, Oregon. I can go hang out at the coast. I got my house. I can go anywhere. I just drove across the country and back with my kids. Took the southern route down, northern route back. I didn't have to pack. I mean, we took my house. I mean, my son slept in the van most of the time. My daughter and I hit hotels a lot, but there were a couple of nights that we had to crash in the van together. That was, it's tight because they're basically adults. And, so yeah. But anyway, I have my house. I can take my house anywhere. If I find a place that I don't like my neighbors one day, like I've got a couple of parks that I really love, but there are times where it gets really busy, loud, and that kind of thing. I can leave. If I don't like my neighbors, I leave. If I want to go live in a van down by the river, I do that. It's freedom. Part of my whole trip across the country was actually just trying to find locations that I could just go and just, figure out where to go, disappear to, traveling around to, that kind of thing. There's so many places inside the continental U.S. that you can just kind of, bye-bye, and be completely cut off from society. And it's kind of crazy how people live out there like that, but you could do it. I could do it for small amounts of time kind of thing, and go and re-up for supplies. But that would, make for a whole new rig situation. So currently I live in a smaller city, so I have amenities around me. So like with food stuff, I don't really do a lot of cooking in the van. I just go to the grocery store and just buy like little salads and sandwiches and stuff like that. If I want something cooked, I go to a restaurant. They clean up after me, that kind of thing. I don't have to deal with all that in the van. But if I had to, I've got the whole setup to do it. I keep it in my storage shed. But, when you're not tied down to a whole lot of stuff, you have the freedom to move around and do what you want. And when you have cryptocurrency in your life and you learn how to work DeFi and you have this income going, you start to gain more time and you get to gain more monetary freedom. If you can pay off your debts and if you don't have anything tying you down, you can travel and do whatever you want to do. So a lot of people do it, live in hotels randomly and bounce all kind of places, Some people use Airbnb like crazy, and just, and you can live in all kind of different places. You can experience the whole millionaire lifestyle for just a small cost for a couple of nights, through Airbnb and stuff like that. And if you can learn how to make your income completely from online, your options are really limitless. If you're really smart, you know how to get around a lot of the man kind of stuff. We're just going to say it like that. The T word that I really hate. There are ways to avoid taxes and stuff like that. So I have set up my accounts in a way that I can really use my crypto, continue to build wealth, use my crypto, and not get taxed for it. Because I'm not actually selling my crypto, I'm loaning against it and then spending it, and then I treat it as basically as a rotating credit line. That's how I'm building my businesses, and that's how I'm gaining, more, as I'm using a little bit of leverage from my own crypto to build my DeFi platforms that then pay off my loan and then continue to build the stacks on stacks and that kind of thing. So when you learn to build multiple streams of income that can just kind of pay you in different ways, and if you can do it all from online, that's just even better. There's so many of the nomads, though, that aren't as computer savvy as I am, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of people on the blockchain, that, still, I've talked to several members of the Hive blockchain that, still have to rely on the real world income. I'm still relying a lot on real world U.S. income right now, through the whole delivery services and everything, which is getting scarce, and I'm having to figure out some other avenues of income to just pay the daily bills because I really just want to keep building up my reserves. But yeah, if you have that income coming in to where you don't have to be tied down anywhere, why be? Like I said, you don't have to live in a van because there are limits to living in a smaller vehicle, but I've learned to adapt. But if you learn to adapt, that's freedom, because you can adapt to any situation that you need to adapt to. I know cats that literally own nothing but just what they have in like a backpack and like an extra little satchel, and they travel all over the place. Why? They live off of crypto. If you get stuff like Bit Refill or even BitPay card. BitPay's even got gift cards and stuff that you can buy through there. But I've used the BitPay card, just to go and swipe. It's like a prepaid situation where you sell your crypto onto it as dollars and you go and spend it. Coinbase has got a card now, and you can actually earn returns in that. So I take the 4% returns in Stellar. I spend USDC. I get the 4% returns. Send that back to Nexo. It creates more collateral that I'm earning 5% on. And then I either pay back the loan with it, or I can flip it into Bitcoin or whatever and just keep letting it grow, or I can let it sit there and just keep earning interest. So it's all in how you work your finances. If you limit yourself, if you limit the way that you think, then you're going to be tied down forever. And so if you learn crypto and you learn how the DeFi industry especially can change your life, and you learn how to do some trading, learn how to read charts, you can buy low and you can sell high and you can make some good money, but you have to be really good at it to, be a day trader kind of thing. That's something that can absolutely consume your life, and be careful with that kind of stuff. Careful day trade. But the longer term swings, don't look at, I was trying for a long time not to look at crypto as like a daily, like a replacement thing, but I'm kind of looking at the point where it needs to get to that point. So the more I pile into DeFi, the more returns I can get. I'm basically just be living off of dividends. And again, if you do it right, you gotta report shit. If I don't get a 1099, they can kiss it. That's my thing. Not financial advice, just a dude in a van talking to you on the internet, looking for freedom. So, again, I also live in a van. They'd have to find me. And if I want to disappear, that's going to be really hard. So, because I know my way around, I got an extra phone. If I need to, move everything over and go completely private, then I will do that. I'm ready to go. I'm looking into one of those Freedom phones. May buy one of those as like a backup, like if I have to disappear phone kind of thing. And then I'm also looking at Starlink, kind of looking at buying into that package, but I wouldn't be able to get it until like 2022. So we'll see. I'm still watching the progression on that and see what happens. So, I want to be as free as possible and move around. And, I don't like being tied down. If you like having that homestead, then cool. Do it outside of a city, because they have basically all control over the cities, man. But I'm smart. I know how to work my way in and out of a city. I'm in a city that I can literally drive 5-10 minutes away right here. I'm in the woods, and I can hit mountain trails, and I'm gone, kind of thing. I know routes that can go literally from here all the way to the coast, down like logging trails and stuff that are actually pretty decently paved. Yeah, you disappear. It's not hard. And so if you really want true freedom, you got to think on that kind of, scale, because paying rent ties you down, because you are basically paying for like a year's lease and that kind of thing, and that takes up a grand amount of your income in most cases. Mortgage ties you down for pretty much your entire life. Mortgage basically translates into death contract. And you never own your property. I mean, really, let's be real about that. You never own your property. So you're paying for control over it. The bank owns your property. And then if you do actually own the deed, if you don't pay your property taxes, the government can come and take it. The one bit of property they can't take from you? Your crypto. That's on your private keys, and you can store that in your head. They can't take that from you. That's freedom. So anyway, it's gone a little long, but I hope you got something out of that today. We talked about the markets, and we talked about how crypto and van life can combine into a free life, and a very adventurous life at that. Hey, I don't have a whole lot of dull days, man, and that makes for a fun life. I'm happier, I'm healthier than I have been in years. And I don't think I traded for anything. Y'all have a great day. Be cool, be real, always abide.